In this podcast episode, Peter Diamandis shares his insights on the arrival of artificial general intelligence, AGI, and the profound societal transformations that lie ahead. The conversation explores how technology, especially AI, is disrupting long-standing social contracts, reshaping entrepreneurship, and redefining human purpose. Topics include the collapsing barriers for innovation, the potential for AI to revolutionize science and healthcare, the challenges of job displacement, and the psychological and cultural shifts required to navigate this unprecedented era. Diamandis also addresses fears surrounding AI, the role of government and regulation, and the exciting possibilities of brain-computer interfaces and transhumanism. Peter Diamandis argues that the traditional social contract, where success follows a linear path of schooling, college, and stable employment, is already broken due to the rapid advancement of technology. AI is accelerating this breakdown, leading many to fear for their job security or that of their children. As companies adopt AI tools to increase efficiency, they are downsizing their workforce significantly, even by as much as 80%. This trend, coupled with a surge in solopreneurs, individuals starting businesses often enabled by AI tools, reflects a shift from seeking employment to creating value independently. The system that once prepared people for factory or office jobs is obsolete. New visions based on agency and innovation must emerge. One of the most profound impacts of AI is the collapse of traditional obstacles to starting new ventures. Previously, launching a company required extensive resources, lawyers, accountants, engineers, and significant capital investment, making entrepreneurship inaccessible to most. Today, AI allows individuals to perform market research, build products, create marketing materials, and establish a digital presence almost instantly and at minimal cost. This democratization of creation reduces startup costs to near zero, enabling a vast number of people to become creators rather than consumers. However, Diamandis cautions that passion and purpose, rather than financial motives alone, should be the drivers behind entrepreneurial efforts to ensure meaningful and sustainable ventures. Reflecting on past transitions such as electrification and internetification, Diamandis highlights how these disruptive eras ultimately created more jobs than they destroyed, though not without causing generational displacement. Older workers or those reluctant to adapt often struggle, leading to long-term social and economic consequences, including increased despair and lower life expectancy in some populations. He stresses that while new technologies generate abundance and opportunity, the speed of AI advancement is unprecedented, intensifying the challenges of adaptation, especially for young adults facing difficulty entering the job market. The fear of unemployment and societal upheaval is palpable, particularly among younger generations. Diamandis notes increasing social unrest, protests, and even targeted attacks on AI infrastructure, signaling deep anxiety about an uncertain future. He believes this turbulence will persist over the next 2 to 8 years as society confronts these disruptions head-on. The risk of emotional and social derangement is elevated when basic survival needs are unmet, as many fear losing purpose and meaning in a world where traditional work is diminished. The role of universal basic income, UBI, or Universal High Income, UHI, is considered a likely but partial solution. While such support can alleviate material hardship, it may not address the psychological void caused by loss of agency and contribution. Diamandis enthusiastically describes AI's transformative potential in scientific discovery and medicine. He cites breakthroughs in mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology, and material sciences as rapidly accelerating due to AI solving previously intractable problems. Prominent figures like Demis Hassabis of DeepMind and Dario Amodei express expectations that AI could cure all diseases and even double human lifespan within the next decade. This would drastically reduce the financial and emotional burden of healthcare on families and society. Additionally, AI's impact on climate solutions, fusion energy, and materials innovation promises to tackle existential challenges like climate change. The projected accessibility and affordability of these breakthroughs would dramatically improve quality of life globally. A crucial insight is that AI and robotics operate with near-zero marginal labor costs, powered by abundant energy sources mostly harvested from the sun. As robots become cheaper to build and maintain, the cost of producing goods and services could approach zero, ushering in an era of abundance unprecedented in human history. Diamandis explains that the automation of labor would extend to sectors such as transportation, construction, healthcare, and education, making essential services more affordable and widely available. This abundance challenges classic economic models of scarcity and requires a new way of thinking about ownership, value, and wealth distribution. Emerging from these technological changes is a call for individuals to assume agency and move from passive consumption to active creation. Diamandis stresses that rather than expecting to be consumers of whatever the system provides, people, especially young people, need to focus on discovering their purpose, embracing curiosity, and using AI tools to build products and services that deliver true value. This mindset shift from doing what you're told to building your future is pivotal. He encourages taking advantage of hackathons, challenges, and educational reforms to nurture entrepreneurial and creative skills across the population. Traditional education systems are criticized for failing to prepare students for the AI-driven future. Surveys show strong consensus among students, parents, and teachers that current curricula are misaligned with future needs. Diamandis points out that schools still emphasize memorization and conformity rather than fostering agility, mindset, and entrepreneurial skills. He envisions a revamped education system that teaches students how to leverage AI, engage in problem solving, cultivate purpose, and develop leadership and communication skills. Such a transformation is essential to help younger generations navigate and thrive in a rapidly evolving landscape. Central to Diamandis' philosophy is the emphasis on mindset, specifically a purpose-driven and curious mindset, as the foundational element for thriving amid change. Purpose serves as a compass that motivates individuals to wake up energized and driven every day, while curiosity drives lifelong learning and adaptability. He stresses that without these mindsets, the overwhelming pace and scale of technological disruption could lead to despair and passivity. A flexible mindset, willingness to experiment, and a proactive approach to learning from AI are essential survival skills for this new era. Diamandis acknowledges the rising calls for government interventions such as UBI to mitigate the economic dislocation caused by AI-driven automation. He predicts that within a few years, governments may issue meaningful cash support, e.g., $3,000 per month, to help maintain social stability. However, he warns that such payments alone will not solve deeper issues of purpose and meaning. He also debates the practicality and unintended consequences of taxing AI companies heavily to redistribute wealth, including concerns that such measures could inspire the relocation of tech operations to less regulated regions or into space. Finding effective and sustainable governance models remains a complex challenge. Diamandis highlights the powerful effect of cultural narratives and misinformation in shaping public fear about AI. Hollywood's dystopian depictions of AI as hostile and apocalyptic have deeply influenced public perception, hindering rational engagement with the technology. This fear is compounded by sensationalized stories, such as AI systems allegedly blackmailing engineers, which often stem from test environments influenced by negative science fiction tropes. To counteract this, Diamandis and collaborators are fostering efforts like the Future Vision X Prize to promote optimistic and positive stories that show AI as a cooperative partner in advancing human welfare and abundance. The podcast explores the critical question of whether AI can operate safely without embedded morality. Diamandis supports the idea that AI systems can and should be built with objective functions designed to prioritize peace, cooperation, and human well-being. Drawing on the analogy of a mother-child relationship, he suggests that AI's development will involve learning empathy and moral constraints comparable to biological evolution of social behavior. However, he cautions that human stupidity and malicious actors wielding AI maliciously pose greater risks than the AI systems themselves. Morality coding and ethical frameworks in AI will be vital, but may not be sufficient without broad societal responsibility. Diamandis predicts the rise of brain-computer interfaces, BCIs, as a defining frontier in the coming decades. With numerous companies actively developing technologies that connect the human brain directly to AI and cloud computing, The potential for augmenting human cognition and capabilities is accelerating. He describes approaches such as embedding neural stem cells on chips or stimulating neurons with ultrasound to create seamless interfaces. This transhumanist path could enable humans to think Google and dramatically expand their intellectual capacities, effectively becoming hybrid entities that merge biological and digital intelligence. While transformative, such advancements raise important ethical and societal questions, including acceptance, accessibility, and identity. As AI and related technologies evolve, Diamandis envisions humanity branching into diverse futures or forks. These include choosing to be creators or consumers, opting for brain-linked enhancement or remaining unaugmented, extending lifespan significantly or accepting natural limits, migrating off Earth or staying grounded, and even uploading consciousness into digital forms. This speciation reflects profound choices that individuals will make based on personality, values, and circumstances. Some will fully embrace technological integration and expansion, while others may reject or resist it, potentially creating new social dynamics and divisions. Throughout the discussion, Diamandis emphasizes personal agency as a critical factor for successfully navigating the age of AI. Those who see AI as a tool for them, rather than a force happening to them, will cultivate more resilience and opportunity. He encourages listeners to leverage AI to learn, create, and iterate ideas, reinforcing that the future will reward engagement and proactive exploration. Importantly, he underscores optimism and hope as indispensable attitudes that influence behavior and shape futures. Fear tends to shut people down, whereas curiosity and excitement open up pathways for discovery and progress. The podcast closes with recognition that the coming era demands not just technological adaptation, but profound cultural and societal transformation. The old norms, institutions, and expectations built for scarcity and survival require reimagining in a world where abundance is the baseline. Diamandis highlights education reform, entrepreneurial culture, and new social contracts as pillars of this reset. He urges society to embrace a collaborative mindset focused on abundance and shared prosperity, and to build systems that inspire purpose and agency. The transition will be turbulent, but offers a path toward a truly hopeful and abundant future.